And so Samuel and Vanessa, what happened? Can How about you, Vanessa? Can you tell me what happens? Okay. Okay. So yeah, let's just wait for Vanessa to be connected. So before we start, let's pray. Wait, let me just slide it. Okay. Okay, who wants to pray? Farrell, please pray.
Friends, let's pray. God, now we want to start the math class. Please so we can focus on the lesson and we can grasp the materials well and Mr. Martin can teach us well. In his name, we pray, amen.
Amen. So yeah, I think this class, previously I've already finished the material. Okay, yes, yes, this class, yes. So, so now let me just, before I go to today's material, so let me just remind you that tomorrow there will be another additional material. So we have only two more materials to be delivered. Tomorrow you will watch the video, and we can you can read the textbook, and you can ask if you have problems on Wednesday. And for today, I have opened two homeworks. So actually the homework is for today's material and for tomorrow's material. But since tomorrow's material, I think some of you have already known this, or you can easily read from the textbook. So for those who likes to do it earlier, you can know which part that you have to do. So that's all, just for you. I mean, why I opened it today for that purpose. And then, so there will be no additional homework. The due date will be Thursday morning, and that will be the final homework for this semester. So this Friday we will have the last major quiz this Friday. So the quiz will cover all things about the quadratic function that we have learned so far. On Thursday, maybe we can allocate that for review. It depends on your questions, of course. So that is the plan before we entering next week, review week, and then another final exam week. Okay. Any question regarding the plan? Okay, we're good. Okay. So for this one, particular one, let me just today today we will learn about imaginary numbers. Okay. So for those who have done and who wrote it in notes or anywhere, can you give me what is the discriminant for this one? Or let me just count it manually. So it is equals 81 minus 4 times 2 times 11. So it is 81 minus 88. So it is negative 7. Is it correct? Or wait, any objection or any confirmation? No? Okay. So here's the thing. Last week, you can say that there is no x-interception, which is correct, since it is visibly no x-intercept. So your case will be, because this is positive, so it must be like this, right? There is no x-intersection. But the thing is, from now on, since we have learned the imaginary numbers, you still have to find the value of x1 and x2 in imaginary numbers. Why? Because actually they exist. They exist not on this plane, another dimension. So for your visual purpose, that's why I shared two videos on YouTube. And I think it is very well described about the visual. So actually they exist. The x-intercepts are there. There are two, but they are imaginary numbers. Therefore, they are on the imaginary plane. The thing about imaginary numbers, we are not being fair because we usually just take it as an imaginary number. Imaginary. We imagine things. So it doesn't actually exist. That's wrong. That's why today's mathematician try to convert or change the name into lateral. Okay, because they exist actually, and we use it. We use it, so it they really exist, and we use it in our daily life. So therefore, I want you to know it is not something that you imagine. Okay, they exist. But of course, since we are still using the reference of our textbook, we use imaginary instead of lateral. Okay, let me just erase this one. So now, how to find the value? Simple lah ya. Okay, since to find the x-intercept and y-intercept, we always use the quadratic formula, right? So let's use the quadratic formula. X1, comma 2 equals negative b plus minus square root of d over 2a. So actually, x1 will be equal to 9 plus square root of negative 7 over 4. X2 will be equals to 9 minus square root of negative 7 over 4. That's it. That is your imaginary numbers. It's not that hard. Any questions so far? So we're just using the quadratic formula, but the radical is negative. That's all. Any question? No? But there's something to it, okay? We need to do more than this, okay? The thing that you need to put on your note is this statement. Square root of negative 1 equals I, lowercase I. Okay, so from now on, whenever we have imaginary numbers, you have to use I on your numbers, in your numbers. So since this is imaginary numbers, we haven't done yet. So this is how you convert that. 9 plus negative 7 is 7 multiplied by negative 1, right? So it is 9 plus square root of 7 times square root of negative 1 over 5 over 4. Don't forget, in radicals, whenever we have 3 times 4 as the radical, you can separate it as long as it is multiplication. Okay, therefore, this, since we know that square root of negative 1 is I, it means the final answer must be this. That's all. Actually, for this part is quite easy. So for the second x, let me just put a line so we can differentiate it. So the second x will be 9 minus square root of 7i over 4. The thing about I, sometimes you are using a long vinculum, which make it wrong. This is wrong. So this is right. Can you see what I mean? Don't do this. This is correct. Okay. So far, any question regarding I? So from now on, if I give you this kind of case, what is the x-intercept of this one? You need to present the value of x1 and x2 in imaginary numbers, although visually they don't exist on the Cartesian axis.
I have a question.
Yes, Karin.
Then are we able to simplify it or no?
This one?
If it's I, like for example, root of 64i, are we able then to simplify it?
Oh, of
Or
course, of course. Yeah, that's why, okay, for answering that questions, let me go to the practice then. Now, let's practice. Okay, I give you 4 imaginary numbers. Now, simplify this. I will give you time, of course. And then I will try to ask some of you. Okay, I think we can start from number 1. So number one. Teresa Indi.
Nggak tahu, Master. Cuman I tried and then I get square root 3i.
Good. That's correct. Okay, good. Yeah. Next, Hideo.
I'm not sure, Mister.
That's okay. Just try.
I got 3i.
Okay, good. Next, Michelle.
Square root of 61i.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I mean, it's actually it's quite easy, right? But number 4, maybe, yeah, extra work. Who has already done number 4? You can unmute yourself then if you have already done, or you can, the chat is thing, it's not, just unmute it.
Is it 6 square root of 2i?
Thank you. Is that you, Cliff?
It's
Okay.
Farrell, Mister.
Oh, it's Farrell. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Farrell. Yeah. So how do you find this one? Okay, let me just, yeah, so is that answering your question, Karin? You have to simplify it. So if you have negatives, a square root of -7, just use the factor 3, right? So in the end, you get 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times -1. There is a -1 there. So this one and this one, you can extract it. So it is 2 times 3 times square root of 2 times square root of -1. So in the end, this is 6 square root of 2i. Okay, I want you to really master this simplification. Yeah, since this is the thing about I. Any questions so far? I hope actually this will be the end, but eventually this is not. So this is the hard part. But let's just, is there any question before we go to the hard part? No, we're good. Okay, then let's just. Now the thing is, we are not expecting you just to translate I, of course. Okay. So let me go back to this one. And this is what will you do, what you will do for your homework. That's why I want to explain this so you can get a glimpse about what you will face on your homework. I forget about the value here. So I think it is 9 plus square root of 7i over 4, right? Yeah, I think it's right. Okay. So now x2 equals 9 minus square root of 7i over 4. Now, can you see that actually the difference is only the operation? The first one use addition, the second one use negative subtraction, sorry. So I want you to be familiar with conjugate. Okay, this is the first thing. So x1 is the conjugate of x2, while x2 is the conjugate of x1. I just want you to know about this term. You can read it on the textbook actually. But if, for example, I am showing you an imaginary number, for example, 5 plus 7i. What is the conjugate of this one? It will be 5 minus 7i. Let me give you another example. 7 minus square root of 3i. What is the conjugate of this one? 7 plus square root of 3i. Simple. Okay, let me ask you again. Square root of 3i minus 7. What is the conjugate? Karen, what is your opinion?
Maybe -7 plus square root of 3i.
This is the conjugate?
Wait. Or -7 minus square root of 3i.
Which one? Which one? Your decision. Which one? Your final answer.
I think minus.
So -7 minus square root of 3i.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you. So it is not, the conjugate is not square root of 3i plus 7. No. Can you see the difference here? So the one that you change the sign is the coefficient of the I. Be careful with the conjugate. I hope it's clear. Okay. Actually, this is not the hard thing. So I just remember, and I haven't taught this one with for the other class. Okay. So now, let me just show you what is the real one that I want to teach you. So the conjugate, you can see it on the textbook, you can read it. But the thing is, on your homework, first, you are given this. A, find the x-intercepts. No problem, right? X-intercepts, you can use the factors, you can use the quadratic formula. So whenever you find imaginary numbers, from now on, you need to find the value of them. Okay, not just say no x value, no x-intercept. That's the first thing. This is A. But B, you need to check one of these solution, whether it really satisfy the equation. So actually, if I want to find the x-intercept, so my equation will be like 0 equals 2x squared minus 9x plus 11, right? So since I get that the x-intercept will be this or this, I need to check at least one of them into the x, whether it satisfies the equation or not. And you have to show it. So for this part, I check it by using the first one. I don't like the subtraction. That's why I want to use the first one, addition. So, but it's up to you. You can use the addition or the subtraction. So the equation becomes like this. Over 4 square minus 9 plus square root of 7i over 4, right? Just substitute. I wish it's as simple as that. Just substitute. But in the end, this is the hardest part, right? To simplify everything. Try to square it, to distribute it, and so on. And this is the thing that I want you to practice actually. So I know that some of you may say, Mister, we know that it has to satisfy it. It's not the thing that we are looking for. The thing that we are looking for is the skill that when you square this one and when you distribute this one. Since you know that the final answer will be 0, then that will be your checker. So whenever you find it is not 0, it means you did something wrong. Okay? So before we continue with this, let me give you one more additional rules. I equals square root of -1, right? Therefore, I square equals Brian. Kok Brian? Kenapa bisa ingat jadi kelasnya semua ya? Ntar dulu. Wait. Timothy.
What, Mister? The I squared
Yes.
-1.
Yeah. Okay, these two things you need to master. Okay, since I equals square root of -1, it means I square equals to -1. If A equals square root of 5, A squared equals 5. I mean, this is quite simple actually. But now let me go back to proving. So I have 0. I think this is not a good example. So let me just do it quickly. I hope you know what I'm doing here. 18 square root of 7i plus 7i squared over 16. Okay, I will just do the same with this, minus 9. Okay, this is 9 plus square root of 7i over 4 plus, I will use, for example, this one is 88 over 8. Okay, now this is the hard part. I think this is not a good example, but let's just get done with it. Okay, plus 32 square root of 7. I hope. Now, the thing that I want to show you is this one. That's the thing that you need to notice. 7i squared means 7 times -1. Remember, I squared equals -1. So whenever you find I squared, don't forget to convert that into -1. So it will be simpler. Therefore, it becomes -7. You don't have your I squared again, right? So it is over 16, right? And then for this one, let me just, okay, let's just do the rest. Okay, should we oh, Mr. lupa. Ini bisa di cancel. Should we solve this one? Ini bisa di cancel. Okay. So actually I've done some unnecessary thing. So actually it is 81 plus 18 square of 7i minus 7 over 8, right? Minus this one, let me just say 9. Let me make it into 8. So it is 18 plus 2 square root of 7i plus 88 over 8. So in the end, you will have all the same denominator. So you can add everything at the same time. So should I continue this? Tanggung lah ya. Sudah tanggung lah. Oke. Terakhir tanggung. Satu baris lagi kok. So that's why the thing is you need to be good at basic algebra. Now, from now on, this kind of equation that you will face, especially for second semester, okay, this delicate thing. So yeah, it's 0 equals to, I will go to there. It is 81. Let me combine everything. Plus 18 square root of 7i minus 7 minus it is 160 ya, I think. And then minus 18 square root of 7i plus 88 over 8. And yes, this one and this one eliminated, right? And if you want to use your calculator now, okay, if you want to use your calculator, 81 minus 7 minus 162 plus 88, it's supposed to be 0. I hope it's correct. If you have calculator with you, you can check. And in the end, we'll have the statement 0 equals 0. Check. So the skills that I want you to practice is when you square these things and when you distribute this and the algebra thing that you simplify all of these complicated statements into a simplified one. Okay, you need to practice that. So yes, Mr. You should, yes, you have a statement, Mr. I have known that this must be correct. Yes, but again, that's not the thing that we're looking for. The skill that you have to practice. Okay, so yeah, that is for your homework. So you need to show the checking part and you need to practice. Okay, and that's why I'm still speechless if you still ask me, Mr. I don't understand, I want another problem. So when you do your homework, I mean, there's a lot of practice there. And if you want, since I only just chosen 4 problems, there are many problems on the textbook. So I just chose 4 from all of it. So you can extend to the other problems if you want to practice. Okay, so yeah, just do your homework as best as you could and try to master that. Any question? No? We're good? Yeah, okay. So for these past 2 days, Friday, And today, let me just summarize. That's all. That's the only thing that we have already learned from Friday and Monday. So if you have no further question, therefore you can be dismissed.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
you,
Mr.
Welcome.
Give
Welcome.
Go back to the apa namanya yang slide terakhir yang you say the important things.
Mhm.
And
Oh.
like what I belum beresnya. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mister.
You're welcome.
I have question about simplifying the radicals. Kalau misalnya 6 square root of 2i over 36, we're able to simplify it, right? The 6 and the 36-nya. Or no? Okay. Thank you, Mister.
Are you sure?
Iya, bukan? Atau nggak
One
bisa?
more. No, one more. Let me check one more.
We cannot. Because 9, we can. Can't we? Aduh. 3 minus 4 root 3i over
3 minus
2.
4.
Benar?
Benar.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Mister.
Welcome. Yoela, kamu kemana?
Mister,
Mr. Stop
dari
dulu.
tadi saya nggak bisa